You know, at points I was wondering if the title for this season was appropriate because we focus a whole lot more on Andrew Cunanan than Versace. Welcome back, guys. I'm kind of doing this video a little bit differently. It's kind of similar to the style that I did the Casa de Papel video, but in this one I'm going to talk about season 3 and what it's going to be about, what are my thoughts, and if I'm excited to see season 3, and then I'll jump into my season 2 review. But before that, make sure to subscribe and hit thumbs up. I'm almost at 700 subscribers, so it'd be awesome to get there before the end of February. And this goes without saying, but I am going to have spoilers for season 2 review. So let's talk about season 3, and season 3 is going to be taking place in the disaster that was Katrina. At first they were saying that they were going to talk about the whole event itself, but then they said that, you know what, this is too much of a big event to have in a season, and they didn't know what to really narrow it down to. But finally they have decided that they are going to focus on Dr. Ann Poe. Now this is a tragic story that took place during Katrina because I didn't know about it. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys didn't hear about it, but it's about this doctor along with 2 other nurses that were accused of killing 23 or 25 patients. These bodies were found with enormous amounts of morphine, and what's supposed to take place in season 3 is what leads up to these deaths and following them on trial. This is taking place at the Memorial Medical Center Hospital, and we will see a lot of doctors making some crazy decisions because they don't have any resources. A lot of patients are in critical conditions, and that's why they accuse this doctor of doing what she did, basically putting these patients away that were in crucial pain. So I think season 3 will be a combination of suspense, kind of what season 2 was, and courtroom drama if they decide to take it there. So having a combination of the two, I think, will be pretty exciting. And if some of you guys do read, the original source material that this was taken off of was a book called The Great Deluge that was written by Douglas Binkley. Now the main actress on this will be Sarah Paulson, which will be playing Dr. Poe. And honestly, I'm ready to see it. After seeing season 1 and season 2, they've done great stuff. So season 3, I'm pretty sure they won't let me down. So with that said, those are my thoughts on season 3. I'm pretty excited. Let me know what you guys think. So with that said, let's jump into season 2 and what I thought about the assassination of Gianni Versace. And just a heads up, spoilers up ahead because this is based on a true story, or if you already know the story, then fuck it, just listen to what I have to say. This is what I thought. So season 2 is about Gianni Versace, his murder, Andrew Cunanan shooting him in the head twice, I believe, at the front of his gate. Right when he was gonna enter his home, he pulls out a gun and shoots him twice. But what led up to this? Why did he do this? This is the focus of season 2, and honestly they do a pretty fantastic job. Right off the bat, I would say that the performances for this season was amazing. I liked every single one of them. I don't think any of the main characters let me down. Darren Criss as Andrew Cunanan was outstanding. He even won some awards for what he did portraying this character. I loved this guy's performance. I mean, he pissed me off a lot of times. He annoyed me throughout the show, and I think that's what he was going with this character, because he was showing his friends and his family like one side of him, which was like the super fake side, but when he was alone and intimate, you can really see who he was, which was basically a compulsive liar. Kind of reminds me of the Fire Festival thing. But this guy really wanted me to make a punch in the face, because he would lie so much and he would make himself seem like this huge person that comes from a rich family that stays at like these crazy hotels, but in reality his whole life is a sham. So Darren Criss did an amazing job. Edgar Ramirez's Versace was also pretty good. I really liked his performance in this one. And one thing that I definitely know season 2 gets better than season 1 is that they get a better portrayal of the characters in terms of how they look. Penelope Cruz and Ricky Martin did a fantastic job as well. Honestly, I had no idea that was Penelope Cruz until I like did some digging, and she was freaking fantastic. Donatella was awesome. I really liked her character in this one. And Ricky Martin also, again, didn't know you could act, dude. The cool thing about the season was that it's kind of gory. You know, Andrew Cunanan is murdering these people. He's a serial killer, and they decide to show some of the aftermath of what they look like, and it's pretty brutal. It's something that I didn't get to see in season 1, which is pretty awesome. I like gore. I like a little bit of suspense and thriller. So season 2 is definitely more of a suspense thriller, but at the same time it has great storytelling, and it's a little bit odd in how they do it, and I will talk about that a little bit more later. But I'm a little bit more on the fence about how they told Andrew Cunanan's story. Now this show does shine a light on the gay community and how it was back then, especially with the whole army, navy, you know, like don't ask, don't tell situation. So it was very interesting to see, especially how there were a lot of like gay closeted rich men back then. Maybe still now, who knows? But I found it very interesting, because that to me sounds pretty crazy. And Andrew Cunanan was basically a gigolo, going around sleeping with rich men so he can get what he wanted. And there is a special relationship between him and this guy Norman, which I thought was pretty interesting, because he legit lived in luxury just because, you know, it was versus Gigolo. Now, although the title says Versace in it, this is seriously more about Andrew Cunanan's past, and they do a great job in showing that. They do show us a couple episodes with his dad and his entire family, which was very disturbing because his dad himself is basically Andrew Cunanan as he was leading up to the murders, a compulsive liar, just trying to look the best he could in front of rich people, or just making himself seem like he was at the top class. That was really frustrating to see because like basically his father influenced the outcome of this kid's like mentality. I'm not saying he made him murder people, but at the same time, compulsively lying to your son made him kind of like the man that he ended up being, except without the murder stuff. And you know, at the same time, I do think about the title. It says the Assassination of Gianni Versace, and I feel like it should have been called something different because some of the times we do go back and forth between Andrew and Versace himself, but I honestly didn't really care about Versace. I know some people are gonna give me hate for that, but I just feel like at points, like I feel like it wasn't necessary to see Versace as much as we needed to see Andrew. I know the show was trying to like compare their different lifestyles and their different upcomings, which was interesting, but at times I just felt like it was a little bit forced, like kind of like the show saying, okay, you know, this is what Andrew's going through, this is what Versace's doing. Or there were even times where they were comparing Versace to Jeff or David, so it was very interesting in how they did that. And that's kind of like where I'm talking about the storyline wise, because they go back and forth between timelines, and to me I kind of lose the suspense of the murders because we kind of get the murders back to back to back. You see Versace die, you see Jeff, David, and then this other old man die, the random killing, so we get those right away. And by the time we start going more into his past, although it is very interesting, it does lose some of that suspense that it initially built up on those few episodes. By that time I already know they're gonna die. I already know, even if I'd done my research before watching the show, I knew they were dead, but the show showing me their death pretty soon kind of sucked. I knew they were gonna die. All I was really interested was, you know, how did they meet? Basically that's what became the show, you know, like how did they meet, and you know, why did Andrew kill this person and then continue on down this path. That's maybe the negative about the show. Other than that, I don't really have anything to complain about. Some of the episodes that I really digged and honestly that I thought were very interesting was episode 1. Episode 1 was very well done. I really liked it. I loved the performance from the beginning and like the whole setup, him running away from the cops, and then that whole like eyelash blow at the end, because you don't really know what happened between Andrew Cunanan and Versace, and you're just like, you know, why the hell did he kill him? And basically they're just kind of showing us that, like, you know, they kind of grew up in these similar lifestyles, but at the same time Andrew thinks that Versace got lucky. Like the whole time I thought that they had slept together. Maybe that was the reason why Andrew killed him, but no, Andrew just was crazy in the end and fucking killed him. And then also I think basically all the episodes where the murders happened were very interesting because it shows us like how intimate he was with these people and how he just straight up kills them, like in the most brutal fashion. It's very interesting. Other performances that I forgot to mention that I really liked were the actors that played Jeff Trail, David, and Lee McGlynn, because I've never heard of them, and I saw a documentary about them, but I just can't remember. But the way that they were portrayed was pretty good, spot on. With that said, I definitely recommend watching season 2 of American Crime Story. It's really well done, just like season 1. I personally liked season 1 a little bit more than season 2, but that's just my personal preference. What did you guys think? Did you guys like season 1 or do you guys like season 2 more? Let me know down in the comments. With that said, I'm gonna give season 2 a 4 out of 5. Alright guys, let me know what you guys think of the season 3 plot and what you guys thought about season 2. Like, you know, which one is your favorite so far? Do you think season 3 is going to be good? Let me know all that in the comments. And also make sure to follow me on my Twitter and on my Instagram. Links will be in the description. And as always guys, stay tuned.